Now, not surprisingly, we are doing what we believe is making a compelling case for the Chicago Bears to stay in Chicago.
That was Mayor Lightfoot yesterday making her pitch to revamp Soldier Field and convincing the Bears from heading to the suburbs, she hopes. But not everyone is on board with this plan, and some major players say they weren't even part of the conversation. Joining me this morning is Juanita Irizarry. She is the executive director of Friends of the Parks. Good morning, Juanita. Thanks for joining me.
Good morning.
So you weren't a part of this final discussion. What is the argument against a dome on Soldier Field with your group?
Well, we're hearing that the estimates for how much this would cost are somewhere between $900 million and $2 billion. And what I have not seen as a member of the mayor's working group is any information that would suggest that the taxpayers wouldn't end up bearing a significant burden of that money.
And so that is your main concern. So it's a financial issue with you, or more of an environmental issue, historic issue? I know Soldier Field is a historic site. What is it exactly?
All of those things are important to us. Friends of the Parks, in fact, did challenge the last renovation of Soldier Field. We did lose in a lawsuit about that. And certainly historic preservationists were very upset as a result of that remodeling. Soldier Field did lose its historic landmark status. We are concerned about that, but mostly it's an equity issue for Friends of the Parks. We see park field houses all around the city that have not been invested in well, and west and south sides particularly, but really everywhere. And we think if we can find that much money to invest in infrastructure, we should be putting it into that park infrastructure.
So if a dome could keep the Bears here, I mean, they are the Chicago Bears. They do bring in money to the city, which obviously does have an effect on parks itself. So wouldn't that alone be worth it just to keep them here?
Well, it is important to the Chicago Park District to have that revenue because the Park District owns Soldier Field. So certainly we think it's important, but we think it's time for Chicago to really look at other ways to generate revenue. We think the Bears really are out of here, and there are other ways like concerts and other sports that could be taking up more of the time in using Soldier Field. And so we think it's time for the city to really look seriously at that.
Juanita, I want to ask you an honest question here. Friends of the Park, you guys have been around for a while. People know you for many reasons, one of which is you guys killed the deal for the George Lucas Museum. People might think Friends of the Park, they're a bunch of party poopers. I want you to take this opportunity to explain the mission and the purpose of why you guys exist.
Right. Friends of the Parks really is about making sure that there is robust and equitable investment in our parks all across the city. And these days, that work is very focused on equity, making sure that communities where our youth are not having enough good outlets have programming and equipment and amenities in their parks so that they can really be set on a good path. And we're in the midst of climate change. Some of us don't want to think about that, but the reality is we're seeing more challenges with storms and stormwater management, and our parks also contribute to that. We need healthy trees. We need appropriately invested in infrastructure in our parks. And we saw during COVID that we all need to go out and take a walk in a park for our physical and mental health.
And finally, if in fact the Bears were to say, okay, we'll stay, let's have that dome built, how far will Friends of the Park go to make sure that doesn't happen?
Well, as I was not a part of the final stretch of this plan for dome, I haven't actually seen the engineering specs. I don't know if it changes the footprint of the building, and we were very clear with the city that we would defend very strongly against any expansion of Soldier Field, and we would be looking at legal options.
Okay, Juanita Irizarry with Friends of the Park. Thanks so much for joining us. I think it's important for people to hear your voice and the goals that you guys have, so we really appreciate your time. Thank you again.
Thank you.